Simple interest calculations. The simple interest formula has several forms. The one that we are going to use is I is equal to PRT over 100. You'll note that that is the form used in the E activity on the class pad. In this formula, I is the simple interest earned. So that's the amount of interest that the bank pays you or that you need to pay the bank for your loan. P is the principal amount. That's the amount you put into the bank or the amount you borrow. R is the interest rate. In this formula here, you just put it in as a percentage. So if you're told your interest is 8% per annum, you simply substitute the number 8 in for R. And T is the time period. The units for time must match the time part of the interest rate. Note that the interest rate has both a percentage and a time. For example, the interest rate may be given in percent per annum or year, which means the time must be in years. If the interest rate is in percent per week, the time needs to be in weeks. There are other versions of this formula that you may see in the textbooks. A common one is I is equal to PRN or I equals PRT. N is used for the number of time periods and T just time, but they are the same thing. I is the simple interest earned, P is the principal amount, R is the interest rate as a decimal or fraction. So with our formula, we just put it in as a percentage. With this formula, if you had 8% per annum, you would need to change that to a decimal. The R over 100 in our formula does that for you. That's why I prefer the PRT over 100 to either of these. But you do see these used regularly. T or N is the time or the number of time periods as discussed. These formulae are essentially the same, as we know that we can convert a percentage to a decimal by dividing by 100. So the R over 100 in our formula is the R in these formulas. The formula we suggest just means that we don't have to do the extra step of converting the percentage to a decimal.